Hi students, now let's discuss more about producer company for a better understanding. All producer companies are private limited companies that we have already mentioned. Though it is a private limited companies, its members, though it is a private limited company, its members can be more than 50 members. A producer company can always be a public limited company. A producer company can always be a private limited company. It cannot be public limited company. Being a private limited company, though it has no restriction on the maximum number of members. See, earlier we have mentioned that there is no limit on the number of its members. A private company limits the number of its members to 50 or with some amendments it's to 200. There is no such limit on the number of members in the case of producer company, though it's a private limited company. Then conversion is not possible into any other business structure such as private limited company, public limited company, LLP, etc. A producer company is not possible to convert it into other forms of business. You cannot convert a producer company into a private limited company, or you cannot convert a producer company into public limited company, or you cannot convert a producer company into LLP. That is, a producer company cannot be converted into other forms of companies. Then every producer company must contain the words like producer company limited at the end of its name. At the end of the name, producer company limited, that is a must for every producer company limited, public limited, private limited. Like all we are mentioning with regard companies, private companies or public companies. Being for a producer company, we have to end the name of the company as specifying the name of the company, adding producer company limited. For example, Vanilla India Producer Company Limited. Maybe that company's name is Vanilla India. Being that is a producer company, the name is ending with Vanilla India Producer Company Limited. Likewise, every producer company limited must be end up with the word producer company limited. What's this Vanilla India Producer Company Limited? It's a producer company that's new venture promoted by Indian vanilla farmers, and this is at Changambura Nagar, Kalamassery, Ernakulam. It's a Kerala-based producer company limited, and that is promoted by Indian vanilla farmers to protect the long-term interest of vanilla growers all over the country. And this Vanilla India Producer Company Limited, that's having twin objectives of vanilla production and processing vanilla as per international standards, that is owned by farmers. We have already mentioned that the members are producers. See, the members are producers here. This company, the Vanilla India Producers Company Limited, that producers are vanilla farmers. This company is therefore owned by farmers. Okay. And every producer company must contain words like producer company limited at the end of its name, like they're in Vanilla India Producer Company Limited. Then minimum paid up authorized capital is rupees 5 lakh. A producer company limited must have a minimum authorized capital of rupees 5 lakh. Otherwise, you cannot incorporate such a company. It is must that a producer company limited must have a minimum paid up authorized capital of rupees 5 lakh. The share capital of producer company shall consist of equity shares only. The share capital of producer company must only consist of equity shares. It cannot consist preference shares and all. It must consist of equity shares only. What is equity shares? What is preference shares? That I will make a separate video discussing the term. But now you remember this much. For a producer company, it must consist of only equity shares only. Then members' equity is not allowed to be publicly traded, but only transferred. We have already discussed the feature of a private company, being so regard that cannot invite A producer company is having features. A producer company is a private company already, and certain restrictions of private company is being having by this producer company also. It cannot invite public to subscribe for the shares or debentures. It cannot invite public deposits that are peculiar for a producer company also. And the members' equity is not allowed to be publicly traded but only transferred. Being so, all producer companies are private companies. The members' equity, the equity shares, that it cannot be publicly traded. It can be only transferred among members. And more on discussing membership. We have already discussed in earlier session about the membership of this producer company. See, what's a member? 10 or more individuals, each producers, 2 or more producer institutions, 10 or more individuals and producer companies. That's about the membership. We have already discussed that. See, the membership is 10 or more producers, individuals, or 2 or more producer institutions, a combination of the above, that is 10 plus 2. 10 or more individuals plus 2 or more producer institutions. And what's about this voting? Generally saying, voting rights in this kind of companies are aligned with the principle of one man, one vote. One man, one vote. That is democratic principle is applicable regardless of shareholding in the procedure of the companies. Regardless of the shareholding, one man, one vote, that principle is applicable to producer limited companies. Voting when membership is only individual. We have already said that the membership is in 3 ways, being consisting of individuals only, or being consisting of producer institutions only, or a combination of both individuals and producer institutions. How about the voting? Voting rights shall be based on how? Let's discuss. When there is only individuals in a producer company limited, that only individuals, there is only single vote for every member. And when there is, and for a producer company limited, there is only producer institutions, then the voting rights shall be based upon on the basis of the participation. And when the combination, that means there is a combination of produce individuals and producer institutions, how the voting will be? There is a single vote for every member. That will be the voting right in such a case. Thank you.